Alright, we are here. Welcome back. It's time to end off this game, finally. It's been a month since I uploaded the finale of this game, but I am now here to talk about Unravel 2. So, let us get started. So I think a few major things need to kind of come through within, within kind of like how I'm going to talk about this video and stuff. But this is probably going to be one of the shorter closing thoughts, kind of like the Destiny ones and whatnot. Simply because, there are a few things. One, the characters. There's only really 2 to 4 characters, but they don't really have anything about them. We don't really know much about them. We do have Yarny, but we'd have to go back on 1, which I don't remember what happened in Unravel 1. I played it, and I finished it, but I don't know what happened. Or I don't remember what happened. So, basically, the characters and the story in this game are very low and whatnot. We have the gameplay, the artwork and whatnot, and kind of the message and whatnot about this game. So, yeah, there's not a lot to talk about, so I'll try to see what I can gather first with the gameplay the story and the characters and whatnot. So, you have Yarny, the red one, Yarny 2, the other one, or in this case, I made Kyoko Makoto, but pretty much there's really nothing behind that except for Danganronpa. Anyways, so these two characters find themselves basically shook off the storm and whatnot into an area with a lighthouse and stuff, to which they both connect themselves into yarn and whatnot. And pretty much pretty much in here, the yarn in of its, or pretty much from from in on out, we play through a puzzle game and get through a tutorial and stuff, trying to get to the lighthouse and whatnot. Pretty much these two characters enact a role of being like the two characters locked in that we see in the second level. Or more so, yeah, the second level and whatnot. Pretty much what we're going through is that we have the two characters part of this, or the two humanized characters, which we do not know the names of. They go through a journey and whatnot to escape these people, and they do it together and whatnot. This is where it ties into the message and whatnot. Other than that, the characters, there's really nothing else except for the shadow people, the Shadow Clone Jitsu, chasing after the people, trying to bring them back, as, you know, they're somewhat prisoners. And so, basically, we are there to enact it as yarn. Yeah, pretty cool, but overall, there really is nothing else to tie in, because this game is more so about the message, gameplay, and artwork, and puzzles. So, starting us off will be the artwork. This game looks fantastic. It's a very beautiful choice of levels and whatnot, and pretty much familiarity within reality. I mean, pretty much this is the most realistic game I've played so far on the channel. Another kind of thing within here is, or within the artwork, is pretty much the design choices and the fluent moving and stuff. So, pretty much you go from a stormy weather to a night out climbing and parkouring. Then you go through what is it? You go through a barn and whatnot, and to an eventual forest. Then you go back to set forest, into which night swimming, one of the most beautiful levels, probably the most beautiful level in the game. Then you go into the machine when the children are captured and whatnot, and destroy it, or the factory more so, and basically set the place burning down. Then you go ahead through another forest and whatnot, but this time through a forest fire, and help set horses out into the level. And then finally, you go through a beautiful level within the water, which basically fully encapsulates the message and bonding. And you also basically end the story off within the two characters, who I think either get captured or they come into a town and whatnot. It's weird how it ends. And now pretty much the artwork of each level is beautiful in its own way. Night Swimming probably taking it over every one of them. But yeah, it really shows a beautiful message and whatnot. Now we get on to the gameplay. The gameplay is a very, very neat little thing here. Pretty much it's one of the most coolest puzzles and whatnot, depicting of how it goes through. Of course, the game in of itself has one of the most interesting things. Particularly, this game's function really revolves around two, or if you're playing by yourself, you working two people at the same time. And I'm going to say it right now that controller is definitely better than keyboard and mouse. Keyboard and mouse is struggling. It's very doable to beat the game, as you saw me do it, but it's very hard to beat challenges with it. It's just much better to beat with a controller and whatnot. But if you do beat it with a keyboard, I salute you. Other than that, keyboard's pretty hard, and I would recommend playing controller for the gameplay aspect of this game. It's one of the most it's one of the most toughest things to do in this game, which is just playing with keyboard. But controller makes it a lot more smoother, a lot more easier, and more ways to multitask in compared to keyboard and mouse. And pretty much at its end cost is that this is one of the most uplifting games and whatnot compared to the last one, which it ends much sadder from what I remember, but I just don't remember what happened in between and whatnot, or how we got there and stuff. The way pretty much your workaround within the gameplay revolves basically now with new mechanics, as in making tight ropes and what, connecting each other, multitasking each other's rope, and pretty much evolving around teaming and coordinating which areas to go to. This game is a lot harder to speedrun than the first game. This game revolves a lot around moving around and doing things. This game is a lot easier to speedrun with two people, but it's very doable with one player. This game also has a unique set of challenges and whatnot for you to try and play through. I did not play through every challenge because I didn't have a controller around, and doing it with mouse and keyboard is just wow. It is hard. Other than that, the gameplay is great. It's smooth and fluid movements, a lot of new little mechanics and whatnot that the first game didn't have, and a lot of new level design and stuff. Makes it a really neat game to play. Really short, but fun all around. And so now we get on to the next thing, the last thing to talk about in the game. Yeah, short closing thoughts. Pretty much, this game's message is pretty much love and bond. A whole kind of thing between this that I can't remember in the first game is that I guess with one person it's all about, I don't remember. This game, however, is the trust and management of two people within a love and a bond. While there is another game that I believe does this better and whatnot, this game really does encapsulate a feeling of coordinating and helping each other play through the game with relatively beautiful moments and whatnot, and more kind of like spoken and bonds and whatnot that you can with your other person, whether it's your significant other, your friend, your family, whoever you find to play this game with. This will encapsulate that feeling within the love and bond. It's all about really trusting each other in the game and like taking care of the other. And as you can tell within this game's cutscene and management, you can tell that these two characters, or pretty much the four characters, all have to trust each other and help each other to get out of scenarios that pretty much you that pretty much you trusting your other person to help with. This game is all about teamwork and bonding. Of course, however, being played solo, the message may not get across too much unless if you focus on the two other characters. But within you and another person, this game really does tie down that message within. This is a beautiful message to encapsulate. This is a beautiful message. Pretty much, you learn within kind of the beauty of helping each other. The journey may be hard and long, but you will learn to bond with with the other one next to you. Within like games like this that show you, this game isn't gonna make it easy. This game isn't gonna make it, huge and whatnot. But it really does show you what a journey can be in reality. This game helps visualize that. And no doubt does this game do it great. Even if there are other games that may be better for this and probably a lot longer, there is much more that you can do within this game that you and your other person, if trusting each other, if you want to go for speedruns together, if you want to like learn or take pictures within it, there is a lot in this game, and it's sad that it's short. But it's part of that to make the message, hit and whatnot within a few levels and stuff. That's really what Unravel 2 delves into, is pretty much bonding and love. And there's probably more that I'm missing and whatnot, but there's a lot that you can do here with a game like Unravel 2, because there's a lot within the puzzles, the challenges. It's neat. It's a neat little journey, a neat little, I think, 2 to 4 hour journey that you can play through. It's really neat, and I like it a lot. So, yeah, that's really it. The game is pretty much done. I don't know what else to really do within this point, but yeah, now Unravel 2 will finally be finished and whatnot. It took forever because of my burnout, and it's just still going on, but I'll try my best within these couple of days and whatnot. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed your time here and whatnot within this game. Sorry if this is a short closing thoughts, probably the shortest. It's just like that for a game like this. It's pretty much, it's an indie game, so there's not really gonna be much to talk about. But indie games can be great too, and this is a perfect example of that. I really do recommend Unravel 2. I hope you enjoy it and stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for coming by on this lovely day on this lovely bunker. Peace, peeps.